What's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Diddy, it looks like you got your people out here running interference, still trying to throw dirt on Cassie's name. However, right, if you are Choppa, he did an interview with the Art of Dialogue. It was a good interview, but I'm going to say it right now. It seemed like Diddy got another bite of the apple with the interview. Remember Kalina from Dirty Money did a interview where her eyes were rolling out and it was just a bad look. It seems like Choppa is doing the same thing, kind of rehabbing Diddy's image. At the very least, some people say this is very good for Diddy. Some people say he was pro Diddy. I don't know anything about that. I do know that this interview makes Diddy look more guilty than ever to me. Some of the things that he said really put in light the toxicity that Diddy bred, the way people look to the other side. And also, he starts speaking on Cassie, saying the most insane things, but trying to make it seem like, again, it was a fair relationship. Again, I don't know Choppa. I do know that Diddy's team has been trying to put out this narrative for a while. I do know that those documents in court where Diddy let it be known that there are 9 tapes and Cassie looked like she was enjoying herself. So she must have been doing good. I do know that they put that out there in the public forum on purpose. And it's funny to me that as this narrative goes, they are picking up the narrative too that Cassie gave as good as she wanted, and she wasn't a victim either. Okay, let me just take you through this interview if you don't have time to watch it, because the person that made me watch it, not that I had to be forced, but the person that actually told me to take a look at it and said there's some good stuff in it was Mother. What's up, Mother Kit? And thank you so much. Let me just read you some of her thoughts, right? And then we'll get into this. She was like, Chopper from Diddy's show of MTV The Band, right? Said some interesting things in his latest interview. He never really did one until now, and you must watch. Again, let me just get through her stuff and then I'm going to just shoot holes through it because this doesn't make any sense. And I believe that Choppa is running PR for Diddy, and I'm going to tell you why. So he said he ran into Cassie. They spoke, yet what he seems like he is semi trying to cover for Diddy by talking about Cassie's character. He called her cute crazy girl, right? I took notes. He said that basically that she was a cute crazy girl. She wasn't an angel. Diddy wasn't this big abuser like Cassie said. Cassie gave as good as she got. The only issue was when Cassie was ready to let go, Diddy, his ego was like, nah, you're not going anywhere. Sir, that is the definition of slavery, entrapment, and abuse. If a woman says, I do not want to be with you, they have a right to leave. But he said more. We'll get into that in a second. Let me just get back into what Mother Kitten says. But she said what I noted was, and this is something important, that he was 15 to pretending to be older. And when Diddy found out, he didn't kick him out of the group. Now, keep in mind, this man that is speaking about Cassie, for Cassie, how the relationship worked, how it should have worked, whether she had, keep in mind that this man was actually arrested for sex trafficking in Las Vegas. He was arrested for sex trafficking in Las Vegas. This is Choppa. He was the only one also to get a solo deal from Diddy after making of the band. Okay? Now, some people do surmise, was he a part of the freak offs too? If you don't think it's a big deal, it's not what he says, but it's kind of like what he leaves out, especially when he talks about Cassie. And again, Mother Kitten had a great view. She said he seems like he's trying to seem mature, but I see through him, and I believe that he's just not going against Diddy all the way because he believes Diddy can beat the quote unquote trumped up charges just like he did, right? Also listen to the part where he talks about seeing Diddy last on the reunion tour, and the last thing Diddy said to him. In my heart, I feel like Diddy had something to do with him trafficking and also going to jail. So I want you to watch the interview on the Art of Dialogue. They have some of the best interviews. However, this one with Choppa is very, very, very disturbing. For instance, right? Um, you know, he talks about the way Diddy took Cassie from Ryan Leslie, literally acting like the whole thing that's going on to Cassie is, and Diddy's team has been trying to get this out. Her character. Cassie wasn't a victim. She was a 19-year-old that knew what she was going to do. She was going to use her body, face, and everything in between to get what she wanted. She seduced Diddy. She did this, she did that. She jumped from Ryan Leslie. She jumped to Diddy. When she couldn't get anything more from Diddy, she dumped here. Did that. She's just loyal. She's this, she's that. She has a voracious appetite. She did Diddy wrong by leaving him for the trainer that he paid for. Stop. Diddy was with Kim Porter, Gina Hahn, and half of the Eastern Seaboard and a quarter of California. When you go into this Art of Dialogue interview, and again, it's a good interview, go check it out. Tell me what you think in your own words. Um, Diddy keeps pushing this narrative that Cassie was disloyal and this and that. And there's all these people in the comment section being like, this is what I mean. Cassie this, Cassie's that. Oh, she knew what she was doing with Diddy. We are now trying to feel sympathy for a man that is a known hoe, a proud hoe, someone that literally bragged about having hoes all over the place, someone that had he had overlapping babies. He had overlapping babies. The fact that we are trying to act like Diddy was faithful, like they had a like it's ridiculous to me. But the fact that this is how you're going over with Cassie's her character, Choppa, why are you even speaking about this? But Choppa, you know why? Because anyway, he also thinks that Diddy is not going to go to jail. He thinks that these are all trumped up charges, right? And that he is getting sued because people just think it's a quick payday, but there's nothing behind the charges. Again, this is giving me a Kalina from Dirty Money Part 2, a much better interview. Better than, let's also not forget, Saucy Santana was out there talking about, oh, but what proof really is there? Again, it's funny how these people close to Diddy are now in accordance to his legal team dropping these papers, which are being laughed out of court, trying to run this narrative. Okay. They're bringing up the fact that the trainer was hired by Diddy. They're also bringing up, hold on, I told y'all I took notes. They're also bringing up the fact that Diddy was a billionaire, right? Diddy was a billionaire that hired her trainer. Okay. He makes it seem like Diddy's only sin was he couldn't let go of Cassie. He's like, you don't got a right to put your hands on any woman, but he couldn't let go. And that's where his ego got into. He dog stomped her when she tried to flee and dragged her back. He even laughed about, she talking to me like, yo, I want to leave, but he talking about blowing up cars. You think you're here defending Diddy, low key throwing dirt on Cassie's character. But the way you see the world is the fact that it is funny that you're trying to leave a man and the girlfriend is saying, yo, he's going to blow up a car, which means he could kill me, that person, someone. And you think it's funny, like, yo, that's just crazy. Okay. Remember I said the people that defend Diddy, look into what they think is normal. And this ain't nothing against Chopper. It's the whole point of why do you think this is normal? Do the people around Diddy know this shit is illegal? Does Diddy know this is illegal? She said that Cassie is a cute girl, but you know how cute girls are. They crazy, right? Listen, Cassie said that she met up with them later, by accident. And she was like, yo, I didn't do nothing to Diddy. I just tried to pursue my career. Which makes me think that Choppa and all the people from the making of the band that are throwing dirt on Cassie's name might be a little jealous. Just hear me out. They all got stories of of Diddy. He even says in the interview, yo, the things Diddy, he screwed us over. He did us all dirty, all dirty. But he said that Cassie was like, yo, like he said this, she's like, oh, it seemed to him, he was saying like, oh, I could have jammed Diddy up, but I just wanted to pursue my career, right? I think that's when she begged to get out of her contract. But she said the only difference between that is and us is Cassie went for hers and we didn't. So if y'all all experience some type of shit like this, why are you calling Cassie's character into question when she went for hers? They went on to say that it sounds like they're a little bit jealous. He says that like Cassie got a strong family. They wasn't going to let her like they wanted to be compensated for the way Diddy destroyed her life. Saying she got a strong family, that's why they went for it. But he said we weren't. We were adolescents. We didn't have strong families, so they basically just shut up and took Diddy's abuse. Again, the people that normalize Diddy, we got to actually look into what they are saying. Um, he tried to brush that under. He said we just brushed everything Diddy did under the rug. He goes on to say that Cassie wasn't an angel, and he also goes to see, but Diddy wasn't a villain from what I witnessed. What did you witness? Were you in the bedroom? Were you in the freak offs? What does what he showed you? And we also see that from seeing red carpets and all this other stuff. As long as Cassie acted right, as long as Cassie did everything Diddy wanted, and as long as Cassie didn't make Diddy mad, she was safe, right? But part of what he wanted was those freak offs. Part of what he wanted was for her to make smeck stakes so he could circulate them around the industry. Part of what he wanted was for her to do every single thing he wanted. And when things went down, he could use her like a rag doll. Anyway, right? Diddy wasn't a villain. It was just about ego and control, right? He thought Cassie belonged to him, and that's where Diddy messed up. His ego and control wouldn't let her leave. Do you hear yourself, sir? Again, it cracks me up. What you are describing is illegal. It is a definition of, it's not a toxic relationship. It's a definition of an abusive relationship. And I feel like we're dealing with people, regardless of race, color, creed, religion, and social economic, that don't understand that's illegal. That's all there is to it. It's illegal. I don't care if you think you got enough money, go buy your own private island and make your own rules. But in America, with the Women and Domestic Violence Act, it is illegal. Um, they said he said Cassie and Diddy both had their moments, right? And they would always go back and forth. Again, why do I bring this up? And I'm going to keep covering it. I bring this up because I see something very, very, very disturbing. And that is the fact that Diddy is back on his bullshit and he's having his proxies and his lackeys and his friends and his freak off buddies and his old girlfriends or whatever they are. He's having them come back. And once again, they're trying to taint this narrative. So when Cassie goes and says, oh my God, on that witness stand, I was a victim of abuse, they want the jury to look at her with cold blood in their eyes and say, yeah, she was planning it. Yeah, she wasn't that innocent. Yeah, you was just like, you just saw it come up. That's what they want. I hope to God that's not what they get. Even when you go into the art of dialogue, it looks like bot city in there, just unhinged takes. But this narrative, they're doing their best to start it up again. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. You know I'm going to cover this. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.